Good morning, traders. Let's move on to the Dow Jones. And yesterday yesterday we didn't get much happening. And this weekly Kijinsen is still the area of resistance that we need to get through. So let's just get it in red. So the downward trend here break that we had there, and if I extend it to there, we had a decent push through, got resistance at the weekly Kijinsen, and we just coming to a grinding halt. Now you can see how the movement of the week is starting to look something like some of the previous weeks where volatility wasn't as great as what it was. So nevertheless, we're only halfway through the week, so let's not read too much into it just yet. From the daily perspective, we had a bounce off the top of the cloud. We pulled back, and then yesterday we kind of formed an inside bar. Now, it played out pretty much as I expected from yesterday's analysis, and the level that we hit was basically that weekly level. So I haven't got it in, let's just put it in. So this level over here, so you can see how we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different weeks that we used this as support or resistance. So that level was pretty big, and you can see how we basically came back onto it. So I just want to get rid of the daily one. Okay, so that is the weekly line. Okay, so you can see how we came back to test this, and I won't say we've bounced just yet because there's no conviction in this daily candle that was formed. So it's kind of like neither there or here at this stage. Okay, so but this level you were going to get a bounce off this level. It wasn't the probability of it breaking through straight away. It would have needed something massive to happen in the market. So anyway, let's get down to the 4-hour. So from a 4-hour perspective, obviously this channel that we had going to the upside has broken. Okay, so that channel broke, we come to the downside, and we're kind of hovering. Now on the 4-hour, you can see that we have had a bearish crossover of Dickinson and Kijinsen. Okay, they are both going sideways, which is indicating flat at the moment. And we have ticker span that has come into price. So this is starting to look bearish. That is a bearish signal there, but we don't have a twist, although we are coming closer together. So at this stage, because the size of the cloud is so thick, we have some decent support here. Okay. Now, we have created a new high. You can see how we created a new high. And you can see how we had one push down, one push up, two pushes down. So A, B, C. And then we broke to the upside. So now the question is, if you're familiar with Elliott's wave and all the other wave theories where we've had two attempts to the downside. So it's 1, 2, this is a correction sequence. And then we've had this long wave to the upside. So is this wave 1 of the next 5-wave up cycle? Okay. The problem is that you've got all this chaos happening here. So it's kind of difficult because you could argue that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's difficult. I mean, it's always easy to see it after the facts, but for now, we've had a really good move to the upside, and we are still above the cloud and we are still bullish. So let's just drill down to the lower time frames and see whether this bullish momentum is going to continue or whether we are going to move to the downside. So from a simplistic point of view, a break above these tails up here will mean we're making a new high, which means we are going to the upside. And a break below here is obviously going to move us to the downside. However, if we just have a look at what's going on here, so a couple of things. We are below the cloud on the hour. Okay, and you can see when this happens. Every time we break below the cloud, it doesn't just immediately turn around and pop back through the cloud. You see what I mean? It stays below the cloud for quite some time before the downside target that they're looking for gets met, and only then does it move through slightly and then back below. Okay, so at this stage we have had quite a nice long run and we've stayed above the cloud. Now we've popped below the cloud. So you could expect that we just range a bit. Okay, and if we do drop below these levels here, then obviously there's more downside. But at this stage, we have a low, we have a higher low, okay? And then we are now just consolidating. So the key thing for me at the moment is this on the hour. So we have had a bullish crossover, okay, which is a good sign. Cisco span has come through price, which is a good sign. We also needed to get through Kijinson and the cloud. We needed up here somewhere for us to have more faith in the move to the upside. And obviously at this stage, I mean, it's after hours, and you can see how the after hours is really just ranging. Nothing really to write home about at this stage. And we'd like to see a twist here as well for continuation. So I'm kind of in two minds as to what to do today, and I think the easiest way to confirm anything would just be pull the Bull Williams back into it. Okay, we have the daily pivot right here, and you can see this is the 15-minute. You can see how we're just ranging, so just drill out to the 4-hour. And you can see how the alligator has just gone flat here. So for all intents and purposes, there's nothing really going on at this stage. We're going to have to wait to see what the direction is, if there is one, for the remainder of the week. We may just range to the side at this stage. Let's just look at the hour. Yeah, guys, it might actually just be worthwhile taking an early weekend. So I think we need to see some kind of action here. And for me, if we look at the Bull Williams, the bias is not even slightly. This is flat. Okay, you can see how the alligator is just lying flat. So as it stands right now, everything about this is just saying range. Okay, and if we just get rid of that. And I'm almost willing to bet that the range is going to be as follows. Now, the thing about this is the longer we range on this weekly support, the higher the probability is that we are going to break to the downside. Okay, so at this stage, I can't even say there's a pattern here. So I think for the Dow, it's going to be something to watch, and I'll see if there's any price action that indicates a move. But for now, I honestly believe we're not much here on offer for today. So I think you're going to have to watch us very closely. Let's just get to the 15-minute. Maybe there is something that we can see there. Get rid of that. So if you're trading on the 15-minute, you can keep your stop losses pretty close. So we are above the cloud. Slightly, we're in the cloud. Ticker span is in price. We've had a negative twist there, so there's nothing really going on. But if it does start pushing to the upside, obviously you can keep 20-30 point stop losses. So probably watch the 15-minute today if you've got time to do that, and play off that and use your levels on the 1 hour. So the levels that you're going to have to worry about will be that swing low there, definitely those tails there. Okay, so you can see we haven't tagged this here. So there's probably an indication that we will come and try and tag the cloud on the hour. If we do break through the cloud on the hour and Kijun and Tigans start pointing the upside, then we do have some upside momentum and we can start looking at a different upside targets. But I think for me, it's really going to be a case of watching what's going on. This is Bob Wire. You can see how the tails are to the top and bottom, and there's no real conviction of what they're trying to achieve. And you've got to bear in mind that this weekly level here is a big magnet, which will the draw price, but it could also be a massive area of resistance. Okay, and I think the last thing that we want to do is let's just delete this, because potentially, I'm not saying that it's there yet, but there is a chance that we bounce and then we bounce down to this area, which would be the 200 EMA on the 4 hour, and before we push the upside, and then a break to the upside for an attempt at that weekly level, which is a weekly Kijun sitting there. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Obviously, you want to see a bullish crossover of Kijun and Chikinson for that to confirm. Okay, so that is a possibility. And the other possibility that you do have here is that this is now the new upward trend line, and if I copy this and we put it around there, you can see this could very well be a broader channel that is forming. So yeah, I think we're going to have to wait and see. If we break below the 4 hour Tekinson, then this is off. Then more than it could turn out to be a flag, or it could just turn out to be a retracement, smaller retracement, or even a bigger retracement. But considering we've made a new high, I think we're consolidating for another attempt at a new high. So the new high would be a break of this level here. Anyway, guys, I think for me, it'd be a lot of sitting on hands today and just watching what's going on, looking at the 15-minute and probably the 6-minute chart today, just to pick up where my trades will come from. Anyway, hope it helps, and I'll catch you later.